Alright guys, I had to order a RX0 off of eBay so I could pull the firmware off because nobody wanted to send me one. Anyways. So I'm going to go ahead and open this up. Well, first I'm going to go ahead and plug it in and make sure it works. And then I will open it up, pull the firmware off of it.
Here's some of the things I tried before I had to buy a whole miner to pull the firmware off of. I took and pulled up the Ultra firmware, and I copied the boot section over to the bad RX0 firmware. I just couldn't quite get it to work. It seemed like the offsets were different. I'm not a programmer, so I'm not sure what I did wrong, but couldn't get that to work. Someone sent over me a boot from an RX0, and again, I couldn't quite get it to work, probably because I didn't do it in the right order or whatever. So I went ahead and bought a new miner to pull the firmware off, so let's do that.
Alright, let's get this thing apart. Alright, now that we got it out, we need to remove this chip, so I'm going to switch over to the microscope. Alright, I got my programmer here, I got my adapter, and I got my $400 firmware chip here. I'll go ahead and throw it in here, make sure orientation is right. Come on, buddy. Like that, push down, lock it in. Lock that in, and I'm going to go plug it in and switch over to my programmer. Alright, I've got my programmer software here. I'm just going to click read. Everything passes. All the pins are detected, which is perfect. Sometimes when you desolder them, they get a little dirt or corrosion on them and they don't get a connection, so it's always a good thing when it has all the pins. Just gotta finish up here and then I'll verify it. Alright, now I am going to save it. Save this to the desktop, and I'm going to name it Good RX0. Alright, go ahead and save that. There we go. Alright, now I am going to take this chip out, put another chip in and program it. Aside. New chip here. There we go. All right. Now I'm going to load this firmware. Sorry you can't see this, but I'm just loading the firmware that we just saved. Okay. Alright. And now I'm going to program. So I'm just going to hit program and program. Alright, and now I'm going to just take it back out, solder on the board, and see if it works. And it's working. So I'm gonna go ahead and put that firmware on the other boards and hook them back up. Alright, I'm going to plug it in, pull up the web interface, and make sure everything's working. So yeah, plugged in, put the Ethernet in here, sing a song, ding 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 ding, anyway, turn it on. Gonna wait for it to boot up, and then I will pull it up on the computer here. Alright, I have the Ice River batch tool up here. Makes it easy to scan for miners. Still only says 2 are on here. Let's scan again. Alright, well this thing's acting like a piece of junk. Why? Why are you doing this? Well, there we go. There's all three. So we are here on this one here. Alright, so we have our web GUI up here. So all we do is have to let it run, make sure it's working. Now this MAC address is not what I want it to be, so I'm gonna have to figure that out. I've got all these fixed and up and running now. This one's been up for 10 hours, working great. I won't bore you with doing every single one on video, but it's the same process for every one. I'm super happy I got these fixed. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.